Now we've got Kinder Maxi, Milka, Côte d'Or, the cheapest chocolate I could find, milk chocolate from Everyday, Colruyt, and Tony's Chocolonely. Question was, which milk chocolate or comfort milk chocolate in Belgium is the best one? I mean, I'm a chocolate fanatic, as you would say. I wanted to eat these, test them, tell you what I think about them in comparison to one another, because believe it or not, there's actually a lot of difference. Let's start with the cheapest first, and I think the most expensive one will be either Tony's or Côte d'Or. So, I haven't opened any of these. I only haven't tasted this one, so I'm excited to see or taste how it will taste. Not bad. Pretty good actually. I think this one cost about €1, maybe less. This is 200 grams, I'm pretty sure. It's good milk chocolate, it's pretty decent, yeah. I don't know why I wouldn't buy that. Next up is Milka. Milka does chocolate differently. It says it's Alpine milk, but honestly, it's just the same as any other chocolate, except it's Milka. They have different ways of making it taste. I don't know, I guess. So here's Milka. I can compare the look. I do a close up. So they're about the same shade, but Milka is a little brighter. That's why I felt like, oh, this is milk chocolate? With the one from Everyday? Okay, so if you're looking for more milk taste in your chocolate, then Milka is the one for you. But if you want more chocolate taste and less milk, like the balance, like in percentage wise, assume this is 60% milk and 40% chocolate. That one's the opposite. Also really good taste, but these things are much thinner than the average bar. Yeah, as you can see, much thinner. Good taste, but I guess you only buy these if you don't trust yourself, like I don't. Up next is Kinder Maxi. Oh. I only bought the Maxi. I mean, it doesn't matter. Kinder bars are all the same. It just depends on which pack you buy. I didn't want to buy too much chocolate at once. These are wrapped very special. 1 bar each. Good for kids, I'd say. I mean, it says Kinder, but you know. Chocolate lovers just gotta be weary of how much trash you produce, because that one is not going to produce as much trash. I mean, there's the aluminum foil and the packaging, but it's very simple, so you're going to get much trash. But with Kinder, you're going to get a lot of trash because all of these bars are wrapped individually and they're not connected. Now, I know Kinder supposedly doesn't contain any cocoa. I think they say that on the packaging somewhere. These are very tender. And I know that sounds weird, chocolate bars are usually very, I wouldn't say tough, but they're kind of crunchy. You know, they're harder to bite in. They don't bend as easily. I heard the snap when I did it with this one. And they're all at room temperature. I've kept them here for 2 days. Must be 20, 21 degrees Celsius in this room. So these, if you have weak teeth and you like a high percentage of milk in your chocolate, weak teeth or no teeth, as a matter of fact, because this will just melt in your mouth. this is the one for you, definitely. Now let's move on to Tony's. Now, I've eaten Tony's before. I tend to avoid this chocolate because this milk chocolate has very, very high percentage of chocolate compared to milk. It weighs heavy on the stomach. So if you want to combine this with other stuff, feel free, but eating it pure is going to be very tough. I mean, at least for me, because I've eaten chocolate for most of my life, and I've actually overworked my liver at some point. I had to step away from chocolate for like a year and a half because I was just getting too much of it too often. So that's that. So here we go. Tony's, if you want to open. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. They shaped, let me show you the whole bar because this is kind of special. Like Tony's is special chocolate, mostly because Tony's advocates for ethically produced cocoa, paying the farmers a good wage and stuff like that. So let me just open the whole bar for you. Like most chocolate bars don't really put any effort in the bar itself. They just say like, oh yeah, everything's the tastes. Well, Tony's make sure that the bar has their name on it. Look at that. Crazy stuff. Oh shit, this thing's melting in my hand. Because it is room temp, but although it's room temp, my warmer hands will still melt the chocolate. So, see, you heard that crunch? Milk Kinder doesn't have that. Brittle. Tough at first, but collapses easily in your mouth. I'd say Tony's is a good 50-50 regarding chocolate and milk. Because with other kinds of chocolate, you know, you have praline, which is like, you know, the sweeter kind. You have the one with nuts, you have the one with banana, like what the door does. Or white chocolate, dark chocolate, pure chocolate, if you will. So, the balance with Tony's is really good, but like I said, I mean, it tastes like it has balance, but it's very heavy on the stomach in my experience. I'm not sure if you have the same experience, but that's just what I'm telling you. Anyway, I'll put this aside for now, Tony's. Also, if you're conscious of your trash, Tony's is made of paper and aluminum foil, and the rest, except for this is also kind of paper and no foil, so this is probably the least trash and the lightest. No, Kinder's the lightest chocolate on the stomach. So I'll do a rating of like tastes, how much you can eat at once if you're a glutton like me. Best combo of milk, and so on and so on. I'm just winging it as I go along. Now this is Côte d'Or. In Belgium, this is one of the most famous chocolate brands, right? Like if you've walked into a store looking for chocolate, this one's the one you're gonna see the most because it has so many variations. This is just like the bar, and you can't even buy like one bar individually. It comes with two, and they're massive. Like this weighs a lot. So if you need to make some sort of chocolate dish, I mean, this is bang for your buck just in volume. Wrapped the same as the other ones. It's a standard, industry standard. And just like Tony's, they engrave the brand name onto the bar. See, I'll show you close up. There you go. Let's taste it. Also kind of crunch, way tougher, but more balanced. Okay, in comparison, I'm kind of surprised to say this, Tony's. So I'll just do from like best taste to the worst taste. In my opinion, I'm a picky person, maybe you're not. But if you're a chocolate fanatic, you might have the same opinion as I do, I'm just saying. Tony's has the best taste overall. Best balance between milk and chocolate and other ingredients, of course, but I'd say Tony's has the best taste. Ironically, I mean, I just want to say, even though it's ethically produced chocolate, producing chocolate is tough. Like, you see a lot of brands of chocolate, but there's just so much choice that you gotta decide which one you're gonna pick. Côte d'Or has brand recognition. Sorry, that's Côte d'Or. Côte d'Or has brand recognition because it's just been around for so long. Milka has a lot of like cookie and snack variations that for kids mostly, and it's kind of known for that. And that also means brand recognition. Kinder is German, I'm assuming, because Kinder means for children, so it's also marketed towards children. Very easy to sell, delicious for all kids. You probably know the Kinder Egg, which is like infamous because it actually got banned in the US because it had the little toy inside and it's not allowed to have that. And then there's the cheapest of the cheapest. If you live in Belgium, Boney or Everyday are like the cheap brands you can find in the store, Colruyt. I don't want to say, but whatever. Tony's is only known because it ethically produces chocolate and it actually pays the farmers of the cocoa really well. At least that's what the sources say. I'm not sure if it's still like that, but I hope so. In taste, Tony's first, then I'd say Côte d'Or, then Milka, then Taste, number 1 Tony's, second Côte d'Or, third Milka, fourth Kinder, fifth the cheapest. Of course, in taste, the cheapest is gonna taste the least best, I'd say, because I can't say the worst, because it still tastes good. Like, before I tasted all these other ones, the cheapest still tasted good. I haven't eaten pure chocolate in a while, so the cheap chocolate still tasted pretty good. If you want to go for cheap, if that's all you can afford, I'd still really recommend it. Because they still want to sell good chocolate for the people who can afford expensive chocolate, but it still tastes good. It's not like, I'm sure it has some things that the other chocolates don't have, or the other way around. Anyway, now I'll rank it in the order of like which one's easiest to eat, in case you don't have like, in case you're not young and you have really strong teeth. So Kinder is obviously the easiest. Like, it falls apart so easily, you could just put it in your mouth and it'll melt on your tongue and it'll just fall apart. You just have to move your tongue around and you can swallow it. It's that easy. Milka is also really easy to eat because it's so thin. And its consistency is like, you bite on it and it just also falls apart. You can let it melt in your mouth. It's that easy. Now for Tony's, you still need some teeth, I think, or at least you can do very small pieces. But once it was in my mouth, it was brittle, it just fell apart. That's good, right? Then I do the cheap chocolate. It's still tough. It's still like, it has a little crunch, a little snap. But I feel like if you heat this up, just like with all chocolate, if you heat this up, it will be more easy to eat, you know? Just easier to eat. Then Côte d'Or. This may be one of the best chocolates in like quality, but it's very tough to eat. Like, you'd have to keep that one in like a very warm place in order to eat it like easily, you know? Now I'm gonna rate it on like which one weighs heaviest on the stomach. Easily number 1 weighs heaviest on the stomach. Let me just emphasize this again. Tony's weighs the heaviest on your stomach, easily. Now I haven't had the everyday chocolate before. I don't know if it weighs heavy on that, so I'm just gonna leave that one out. But all the other ones I have tasted. Tony's, you're gonna feel it pretty quickly. You're gonna eat half the bar, maybe the whole bar, and you're gonna feel like, oh shit, I should not have done that. Then, Côte d'Or. It's very rich in flavor. If you're gonna eat a lot of it, you're gonna feel it very quickly, right? Then you have Milka. You could eat a lot of these in one day. and you won't feel it as bad, but you'll still feel it. Like, it's very good chocolate to eat quickly. You know, it's thin, it's light, it tastes good, especially with milk. I was gonna do a with milk test for all these too, so I'm gonna have to get some milk soon. I didn't plan ahead because this doesn't have much. And then there's Kinder. I have eaten a box, 24 of these in a row, and I didn't feel it. Like these are super light. Like this is a perfect snack for a kid, you know? If they had a full meal and they just want something nice at the end of it, this is perfect for that. And probably why it was made for kids. Now, I'll be right back to do the final test with milk. Since milk is a large component of milk chocolate, and eating milk chocolate with milk can really improve your experience. So, hold on, I'll be right back. Now let's start with the the cheap one. It doesn't add much. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't add much to the flavor. No, nothing really. Which is a surprise, because most chocolates work, or milk chocolate at least, works pretty well with the addition of milk as a beverage on the side. Now, I'm gonna go up in taste, right? So, Kinder now. Cheers. Some chocolates improve the taste of the milk, in my opinion. Kinder definitely helps a little because it does have a very milky taste on the inside. So it adds on top of taste rather than just tasting milk twice. With the cheap one, that kind of happened. So now we'll do Milka. Now this is named Milka, right? This should taste good with milk. And if I remember correctly, it does. So we go ahead and taste it. Yeah, pretty good. I think this is only gonna get better with the better tasting the chocolate itself really is. But Milka has a good aftertaste. I think that's what's special about Milka. It makes me want to drink more milk, and I really love milk, so that's only gonna get better for me. Up next we'll put the door. Sorry for eating with my mouth full. Surprisingly, milk doesn't add that much to Côte d'Or. It's already very rich in flavor. I can already feel the weight on my stomach from all these chocolates. I'm tasting, just tasting, not even eating them to the fullest. Milk doesn't add much to Côte d'Or, which is a surprise to me, because it's second place on the taste test of overall quality of taste. Yeah, I'm not convinced. I think it's a tie. I mean, it depends on which one you're more of a fan of, because I'm more a fan of Milka than Tony's. But I think they're on the same place. So these two, Tony's and Milka, when eaten with milk, they're on the same spot. They're both first place. But since I can eat Milka more in volume in one go, I'm gonna put Milka on my number one, right? Tony's on number two. But in general, because I know not everyone's the same, definitely not like me, these two are on the same spot. Then we have Kinder on second place with milk. Then Côte d'Or with milk, third place. And finally the cheapest chocolate, last place, fourth place, with milk. So overall, I'm kind of glad I did these taste tests. I've been wanting to make a video for a while now, and I didn't know what it should be about. Because you need to find a topic that you're passionate about, and I'm very passionate about chocolate, let me tell you. So anything with chocolate, I mean, just comment down below if you've got a type of chocolate or a brand that you don't see here that you'd like me to taste. I'll give you my opinion on it because I can always eat more, but not right now because I'm already full. This is getting way too much for me as of right now because oh yeah, another good thing with Tony's, it has like a whole explanation on the inside. If you ever buy one yourself, you'll see it. I'm not going to show it to you now because it's a lot. I'll put up a screenshot maybe of what it's like on the inside. But I may also add this paper is folded so perfectly that you can just put the chocolate back, and if you can figure out how to fold it, then you can just fold it back up like this. I mean, if I can manage it, of course. There we go. So you more or less fold it together, still one package. I removed the aluminum foil, but paper keeps pretty well. So there's that. Alright, that's the end of the video. Cheers!